Oh, yep, we're going. We're live streaming. We're recording. We're on.
Hello.
We're on the air. Yeah. So how's everything else going besides day two of the plus one?
Oh, yes, day five, because she's sick since Friday.
Oh,
Although there
wow.
was no school. She's been on and off with fever, but today is good. She last night was pretty rough. The fever was very high. Today, so far, no fever. And I
Oh,
had some works to do. I had a call, two, three calls. So
yeah.
I used the TV as a babysitter today, which I I usually don't do, but well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
The TV was my babysitter from the time I was 7 or something.
Really?
I don't know
But
if
you
my
didn't
parents
have,
ever just stuck me with the TV and said, "See you later." But
yeah, you didn't have that much content and program. I remember when growing up, we had just an hour of cartoons from 7 to 8, and the
uh,
rest was boring, grown-up TV. So I wouldn't spend the whole day watching
well,
TV.
we would watch it, like in the morning. We had cartoons, morning cartoons, and then right after school, you have the reruns, the syndicated reruns of all the sitcoms from the '60s. So the Brady Bunch and the Gilligan's
Ah,
Island and I don't know, Bonanza, Star Trek. So all those things. It's like I often tell Corvo because the way it is now, it's never been if you like to watch TV, there's never been a better time than now to watch TV. It's like a feast of thousands of channels of content, and
it's a
and
feast or dumbing you down.
see, there you're judging it, right?
It's a feast or a dumping you down, because whatever you consume, you overconsume, and this is not a judgment. That
Well, I'm a product of '70s television.
what?
That's
Okay,
that's
so she's
informed
like
me.
you'll have to like talk, because my
Okay,
daughter is literally
okay.
like, "Buddy,
Yeah,
do you
so
want
so
to go? Call me when you're
so
done."
yeah, it informed a lot
I'm
of
listening.
my
Okay,
my
I'm listening.
cultural everything, my cultural education, television. I
Uh-huh.
am a child, like a lot of people say I'm a child of spirit or the universe or of God or whatever. And to be accurate, I'm also a child of 1970s television because that's the television was going constantly in my house, and I'm pretty sure most houses in America.
Most
you know,
houses are.
yeah, that's how we come home. We could watch TV for 3 or 4 hours and then take a break for dinner, and then come back and watch the evening programs. That's that's just the way it was, right? And everybody was kind of glued to that box. I think the difference is there weren't that many channels, so everybody had the same narrative. Everybody had the same cultural experience,
Yes.
more or less, right? Because we had three television networks, and then the public television affiliate, so like four really,
Yeah.
and so everybody was watching the same thing, and
Yeah.
you could have conversations with people because everybody had the same narrative. And now
That
I'm
was more
not sure if
passive,
it's
right? Right now it's active. Like me, you choose your experience, right?
right. Yeah,
You
so,
choose what
so
to watch
you
today.
choose your experience, and then the algorithm suggests more of that for you.
That, yeah.
Okay.
So
And actually, that's
kind
what
of
I wanted
know.
to. I know I sent you a video this morning, and I just wanted to explain that
Yes,
to
that
you
I
and
didn't
to
understand. I was
everybody.
like, what is James sending me? I
So
didn't get. Oh, uh-huh.
this is the Apple. This is from Apple products, because we all have, like, I have an iPhone. I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. I've the
That's what
like
you have.
yeah, it was the state of the art last year. I'll probably have it for another 2 or 3 years before I upgrade. But somehow in it, if you go into the Photos app, I got a notification on the phone. It dinged, and I've turned all of my notifications off. So I think this must be in the new OS update or something. So it said, "There's a video for you to watch," and I'm okay. I'll watch this. This is interesting. And it was a montage of several photographs that I had taken of sunsets or sunrises, and the accompaniment was Yo-Yo Ma and James Taylor doing an arrangement of the song "Here Comes the Sun." And so I was watching this, and for about 10 or 20 seconds, I'm like, what is this? Why, what? But somehow it sucked me in and was kind of compelling because it's the pictures that I took, right? It's the pictures from my phone, my camera roll on my phone with a soundtrack that almost feels like it's like, yeah, I would, not that I would seek it out and I would probably not listen to it over and over again, but Yo-Yo Ma, the famous cellist, and James Taylor, one of the legendary folk rock singers of the 1970s. Yeah, of course. I'm going to listen. So I listened to it all the way through. It's about, I can't remember how long it is, a
For me,
minute.
that's scary, James. It's
It is
Big Brother
scary.
is watching you. They know all about you.
Yes, yes. So that's what I was saying when I texted you. I said I'm not sure how to feel about this.
That's it, like you basically they own you. They own all of us.
Yeah.
They know what we love, what we don't love, what we like, what we don't like, how we talk, who we talk to, everything.
Yep.
You know, I pop things on now, even I talk with you or I talk with someone else, and then that person's post is gonna appear on my Facebook, you know, or whatever. You know,
and it's going to suggest, the algorithms are going to suggest to you.
Yes, it's a choice we make when we are on social media or where we have an iPhone. I have an iPhone, I have an MacBook Pro. So it's a choice we make that we are tracked, you know, Big Brother is watching. And
this wasn't, fortunately, this was not sent out. This was curated especially for me. And then I could choose to send it out.
For it. It's scary.
But you're right, I didn't ask for it.
It's scarier. I would rather be in the mass than, you know, created for you. So it means you're purposefully watching me and making, you know, kind of making me slave of you and spend all of my money on you.
Well,
anyway,
but that's maybe the price we pay for instant global connectivity.
So there is no more freedom.
There's no more fun. Yeah. Or maybe the opposite is true. Maybe we all have unimaginable freedom because we can create whatever we want with whoever we want.
Do you really think you create whatever you want? No, you're suggesting things to create. Even like, you know, an example. You did our on PowerPoint, you know, you were suggested, like the last job that I did on PowerPoint, a presentation, I didn't even have to arrange my picture.
Right, it suggests the design.
You like a million. And I remember while I was working corporate, one of the biggest work job for me, like when I was traveling a lot, and every time I travel, I would go and see all of my agents, the banks, and I would do a presentation. And I would spend a lot of time, you know, working on my PowerPoint presentation. Now it's convenient. This work is not done, but there is no more creativity. My creativity is just picking which one to go with. So
it's
so
it's an interesting discussion. It's interesting to think about. It's
knowing it, you know, I know it. It's again being conscious, being aware that our choices are kind of helped right now. Our tastes are it's not free, and there is nothing, I mean, depending on how you see it, there is nothing wrong with it, or everything can be wrong about it.
Well, you could interpret it either way. You could say that this is the greatest development for humanity so far, or you could say that this is the worst thing that happened to humanity.
I'm seeing it two ways, you know. I'm seeing it one way is, you know, the conveniency. The fact that we don't have to, you know, everything goes quick. I have to spend less time on my presentations, but I'm using my brain less, you know, I am less creative. I'm being more and more lazy. Or I can also look at the way of advancement, you know, technology, industry, medicine, and all of that. And yet this is a time where people are the more depressed, or the lonelier, you know, where there is more and more violence and hatred and wars and all of that. So it's you know, people often send those pictures where when you were young, you could just go outside and play, or when you were young, this is a time where you weren't worried about this or that, or you would spend time in nature because you wouldn't have something to entertain you all the time. And so, but at the same time, this is a time where there is great invention, you know, and in terms of medicine, you can be, have a brain tumor and live, or be born at 5 months, and still be alive and all of that. But so it takes with good and bad, and depending on your perspective, your point of view, which way you choose to look at it, you can either be very depressed or very happy.
Right. I like to think of it sometimes from a historical perspective, and think that we are at the dawning of a sea change. I'll use the word sea change in the history of humanity that's as important or more important than the development of the printing press.
I feel like each era has thought of that, if you look at history, each era has been at the tipping point of something.
So, but I mean, when we think about, I think about smartphones, and I'm old enough and you're old enough that we remember when we didn't have smartphones. And when you look at it, not from the perspective of our experience of life, but from the perspective of how short a lifetime is, this pretty much every person in the developed world has one. And this has happened in the space of 15 years.
Yeah, but the change on our life has been less important, for example, than those who imagine, when there wasn't light, when they were on the light bulb, or the phone, the telephone itself, where they were able to, with the telegraph and all of that. So for us, the change is like the improvements of the iPhone. It's so subtle now that we almost don't notice them. Because it's been incremental thing over, like right now when I take a picture, like my son has an iPhone 13 and the picture is like, I'm like, oh my goodness,
it rivals any camera out there pretty much.
But because I'm still using my iPhone 12 and, the change is subtle. So it's not like, wow. While at that time, coming from no light to light, no telegraph to telegraph, no telephone to telephone.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
You see what I mean? I feel like for them, that time, it was even bigger. For now, we're almost like blasé, it's just another.
Yeah, maybe we're blasé because we don't recognize the miracle, like the miracle.
You see it, but
you live across the country from me, and we talk every day via video.
Yeah, exactly. It has become natural, normal to us, right? So because
maybe we don't see the miracle in that,
because it has been building over something, and it hasn't been like a radical transformation. It's building up on something. There are some things, like, again, when they were able to have electricity, or when we're able to fly, there have been major, turning points.
The automobile
and all of that. Like, we are.
I really think the smartphone is one of those.
Yeah,
we don't really.
We have the world in our hand,
It's you have the
big.
world in our hand as far as instant connectivity with someone else around wherever they are in the world. It's a word processor, it's a video recorder, it's a camera, it's an audio recorder. It's all of it rolled into one amazing device that we carry with us wherever we go.
I agree. For me, it's the biggest blessing, but it's also the biggest curse and threat and danger.
Yes, because it's addictive. It's really addictive.
Connection killer, conversation killer, relationship killer. So it's plus. I see a lot of plus. Again, like you and I talking and everything that we've already said, but I also see all that is preventing me from the world from. So, we would be fools not to see it all.
Okay, there you go. You'd be a fool not to see both sides of the coin.
Not just to see the good of it, and not to see the way it's harming you. But I agree with that. If you want to keep moving, because that's how we think, we say you think positive thoughts. So we will want to make the best out of the good things out of it, and try to minimize the negative that comes with it. Right?
Yeah. or actually, I'll pull a Brooke Castillo quote that I thought was really impactful. She said, "I want my phone to be at the effect of me. I don't want to be at the effect of my phone."
Yeah, I think you shared
Yeah.
that. And she's
Yeah.
young. Mhm. To
Yeah, it's
use
like,
it, not to be a passive user of it, but to be
yeah,
an active user, to be
yeah,
the one.
because it's a powerful tool of creation. You know, like I just said, it's a recording studio, typewriter,
Yeah,
all of this, all in one.
yeah.
But
It's good that it's beeping because Missy is asking. Okay,
all right. Well,
good
that was a
one.
very, very illuminating discussion this
Yes.
morning. Very
She said
good.
she wants some food, some rice. Okay,
All
I'm
right.
gonna
All
give you
right.
some rice now, okay?
All right. Well, everybody have a
Okay, Jen,
fabulous morning. We'll see you
you
soon.
too. And then we connect later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.